Welcome back to my channel, everybody. Today's video is going to be extremely fun for me and hopefully for you too. I'm going to share the design style inspiration that we plan to incorporate in our brand new cottage. I'm just going to give you a little overview of the items I have here. The first thing you might notice about this vignette is that it includes a lot of vintage or antique items, and that is because we really believe that, especially with a brand new house, it's important to incorporate items that give it a bit more character and give it sort of a lived-in feel, instead of having everything crisp and new and tidy, which is great for a new house. It can come across as being a little bit boring or stark if it doesn't have some of these elements that give it a cozy feel and a lived-in feel. And so we have incorporated a lot of items into our previous houses, and we will continue to do so with this brand new house. Now, the first design element I'd like to talk about is the idea of geometry. And I am an architecture major, as I have mentioned before. I'm the one that designed this house, and I love geometry. I love just the simpleness of it, but the interest of it. And so a lot of pieces that we have really incorporate geometry. We've got this pillow here that's got a neat geometric triangle pattern. All of our doors are 5-panel doors. And I just think that's a simple traditional look, but I love the simple geometry of it as well. This particular door is an old wood door that was refinished. It's one of 2 that we refinished last summer, but all the new doors will also have the same 5-panel design. And I think it's just a really classic look. And then we've got geometry, of course, with this beautiful vintage window that I found a couple years ago at an antique store. I just thought the unique pattern was very cool, and I love the simpleness of it. The next design element I want to discuss is color scheme. And as you can see, again, I love black and white. And my color style is kind of black and white with pops of color. So most of the built features are going to be neutral, black, white, or a wood grain. We're going to have all wood floors on the main and second level. And I think that those neutral colors kind of lend itself to a great backdrop for brighter colors that can be incorporated. And so we've got, for our doors and our walls and everything, we've got white on that. We've got a lot of wood pieces, we've got wood floors, white ceiling, and it's just kind of a neutral palette to layer things upon. And then the colors that go on top of it, this is sort of a great representation of the color palette that I am going for. Now, this pillow is something that I purchased many years ago, I think at Target, and it just is a great representation of the colors that bring me joy and make me happy. I just gravitate towards these colors specifically. With the exception of this tan color here, I would replace that with this mustard yellow. And I think they're bright, fun colors, but they're not too bold if you have them in small pops. And so a pop of color might be, for example, a vase like this with the rust red color, and this little lithograph print which has some of the colors in it, with the red barn and the little yellow trees and the mustard yellow frame. Just another cute little addition that I got at an antique store. The next design element is texture, and I am a big time texture person. I love the look, especially of white on white texture, and so you'll see a lot of items that have kind of this just plain white, but because it has the texture, the variety to it, it looks a little bit more interesting. These bowls are a great example of that. They're just some simple white bowls, but they have this unique detail along the edge that kind of gives it just a little extra character and a little bit of interest. Another item that is white on white texture is this texture knot pillow, and this is something I actually made myself out of fleece, white fleece. It's very, very simple to make and inexpensive, decorative idea. I do have a video and a blog post about it. The blog post I think is pretty good, but the video has gotten some comments that it needs more step-by-step guides, and so I can link this video and the blog post below, but just so you know, I will be doing a redo of that video because people seem to like the tutorial and want to try to make it, but the instructions might not be super clear quite yet. So be watching for a new video on how to make that pillow. And the last design element I would like to discuss is incorporating items that are unique or special for us. And this cabinet here is a great representation of just that. This is one of 2 cabinets that my husband painstakingly restored over this past winter, and it will be built into the house actually between the entry and the living room space. And it'll be sort of a divider wall between the 2 rooms, and I think that just because of all the hard work he put into it, we will be able to look at this piece through the years and just remember and just be thankful that he put all that effort into refinishing that piece. Another item is this chest down here. It's something that I bought as a toy box when our kids were pretty little, and it is, I think that the actual box itself doesn't, this piece here is part of another box that the antique dealer I think must have melded the 2 together. But it's been with us for a long time, and it's got a unique story behind it, and it's kind of got that lived-in feel to it, and it's sentimental to us, I believe, because this is where our kids' toys were stored. So even down the road, if we decide to put blankets or something in there, we'll always have those memories of our children when they were young and using this as a toy box. And also this cream can here. This is an item that was taken out of my great-grandparents' farmstead. When the house was kind of starting to come apart, they went through it and took out anything that had value or something that they thought would be interesting for grandkids and the kids to have. And I was lucky enough to get one of these cream cans. And I just think it's a unique piece. It kind of talks about history of family, and we will definitely be using it at the new house. If you enjoyed this little glimpse of what our finished cottage might look like, please be sure to subscribe and follow along to follow our entire journey from when the foundation is dug to when we move in and decorate it with this style in mind and see all of this come to life in our brand new space. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to this channel or visiting my website, arrowhillcottage.com, for more tips on creating a simple home and living an intentionally simple life.